I'm tracking Tropical Storm Chantal, which made landfall around 4 a.m. around Litchfield Beach, South Carolina. The remnants of this cold front could lead to some tropical development. That area has extended a bit toward the Carolinas. 60% development chance within those next 7 days as a depression. But we'll be keeping track. It's going to be a low pressure system no matter what, bringing those showers toward I-95. Low pressure system that we're currently tracking off of the coast there along I-95, and with that, we have a chance for something to develop. Expecting a 60% chance within the next 2 days for a depression to develop, and that means that there could be a chance for some rainfall, especially for those coastal cities. So if you're headed to the beach, you're likely going to see rain Friday into Saturday, no matter where you are along I-95. The flash flood threat will increase into your Sunday as well, but how much rain is expected? As of right now for the weekend, just 1 inch or less, but we'll continue to keep track as this low pressure system moves northward and brings those showers, mostly light rain as you see there, but there is a chance for some more locally heavy pockets. Tracking Tropical Depression 3 as it's forecast to become a tropical storm throughout this weekend. So that would become Tropical Storm Chantal. Now, if you take a look, it's going to be a very short-lived storm and become a low pressure system by about Monday. Those max sustained winds are 35 miles per hour at the moment, and the gusts are 45 miles per hour. It's moving north-northeastward throughout the coming hours. And here are some key messages from our local National Weather Service on what you can expect. Showers and thunderstorms along the I-77 corridor Saturday night into Sunday. Minimal impacts for us here in western North Carolina and the upstate, and the system should exit by Monday. Here's that rainfall potential as we're expecting a majority of that rainfall to be along the Carolina coastline. Here for those western counties, we are expecting less rainfall, less than 1 inch, but still something that we're going to continue to track. Here are those spaghetti models. You can see it favors the coastline a bit more, going through the central area of North Carolina there around Raleigh. And that's just the center of the storm, so you got to know that the impacts are wider than that. Hey everyone, it's meteorologist Julia Haley with your 11 a.m. advisory update for Tropical Storm Chantal. Currently 40 mile per hour max sustained winds. We also have those gusts of 50 miles per hour, but a very slow mover northward at 1 mile per hour. That current cone track shows that it could hit landfall around Sunday, around those morning hours. But of course, as we continue to get new advisories and new model updates, we will keep you updated as well. So there is the tropical storm that we're watching, and it is currently 135 miles south-southeast of Charleston and 220 miles south-southwest of Wilmington. And there's a stationary front right ahead of it, and with that, we also have high pressure around the Carolinas into Virginia right now. That's what's keeping us warm and sunny. We do have some tropical storm warnings that are currently in effect till Tuesday. That's around Surf City to Cape Fear in North Carolina. We also have another one around Myrtle Beach, Charleston, and also north of Savannah. With that, you can expect peak surge on the beaches of about 1 to 3 feet. And with that, we also have a chance for some life-threatening surf and rip currents. So if you are headed to the beach this weekend, maybe think twice before heading in the water and make sure that you are safe first and foremost. So that's where those warnings are currently. A watch versus a warning. Let's talk about that because you're going to hear it all hurricane season. A watch means that conditions are possible, but a warning means that the event is happening now and that could happen within 12 to 24 hours. So you want to make sure that you're being updated and prepared, especially as these types of events pass. Here's model potential rainfall. So a majority of that rainfall is denser in those eastern counties throughout the next 5 days. With that, 2 to 4 inches is the amount that we're looking at around Raleigh and Fayetteville and even into Wilmington. But we do have a possibility for some locally heavy rain of up to 6 inches throughout the area. Asheville, Greenville, it's going to be very minimal in terms of rainfall, but we'll continue to keep track. And here are the key messages from the National Weather Service Greenville Spartanburg, where they say that showers and thunderstorms along the I-77 corridor are going to be experienced Saturday night into Sunday. There's going to be minimal impacts for Western North Carolina and the upstate, but you want to continue to stay informed. And the system should exit by Monday. Here's another look at those spaghetti models. This shows where the center of the storm could be, as a majority of those storms favor moving toward Raleigh just a little bit later. As I said earlier, landfall is expected sometime Sunday morning, but we'll continue to keep track. Now, this is only the center of the storm, but the impacts are likely felt way beyond that. So if you are anywhere in the Carolinas, I would say mostly those eastern parts of the Carolinas, those are the people who really need to stay informed during the next couple of days into this weekend. So we do have preparing for a storm. We have those things that you should be doing to stay prepared. And with that, you want to have a plan in place and practice it. You want to make sure that you know where you're going in times of a storm, especially for our coastal communities. This is for you. Know your shelter locations as well and prepare that emergency kit with anything you may need. One of those things is fresh food and water. Non-perishable food is probably the best. And gather those important documents. You want to make sure that you have anything that you may need in case that you don't have power or you don't have access to anything within the next couple of days. So some documents could be like your ID, or you could also write down phone numbers in case your phone runs out of battery. With that, make sure to stay updated on the storm. National Hurricane Center, National Weather Service, your local meteorologists and TV stations have got you covered. I will continue to keep you covered throughout this weekend. I hope you have a great one and make sure to stay safe. I'll keep you updated. See you later. I'm tracking Tropical Storm Chantal, which made landfall around 4 a.m. this morning around Litchfield Beach, South Carolina. Now take a look at that tropical satellite where you can see that red. Those are the cold cloud tops, which are often the tallest clouds. And in between the last few hours, as this system has moved inland, it has decayed rapidly. So those winds are starting to calm down just a little bit, but they are still strong, especially along the coastline. This one is a rainmaker, as we do have that light rainfall, but also moderate rain making its way toward I-95 this morning. And with that, we also have some tropical storm warnings in place. Now, if you are along the coastline or have any friends along the coastline, for the next few days, there can be some high rip currents and surf. So you want to make sure that you are always prepared and safe first and foremost, especially if you're planning on going to the beach. Now here's another look at Tropical Storm Chantal, expecting it to become a post-tropical depression into Monday. Very short-lived overall throughout the next couple of days, bringing rainfall of about 2 to 4 inches, mostly around Raleigh. Some localized pockets, though, tracking the effects of Chantal, which was a rainmaker for many in central North Carolina. Some of those totals just a little bit less than a foot, 11.2 inches and 10.4 inches out there. And this is from our Doppler estimated rainfall in the last 24 hours. Here is that current system, which is providing flash flood warnings around the North Carolina and Virginia border. And with this, if you are planning on going to central North Carolina, you can expect elevated and fast-moving rivers as well as washed out roadways. One of those rivers this morning has ongoing flooding. Haw River at I-40 cresting around 32.5 feet, which is just below the record of 32.8 feet during Hurricane Fran. This is the depression expected to move northeastward toward the coastline this afternoon. This is post-tropical Chantal as it sits there just about to head off the coastline, and it will travel into the Atlantic a little bit later today and into tomorrow.